friends, welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel with Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY, and Elpida. If this is the first time you're visiting with us, we want to extend to you a very warm welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. So this happened. Overnight, we had a tree due to a small storm that passed through break, and we were lucky enough it avoided our shop. But this is something we are going to have to take care of. So I guess today, instead of a project, we are going to show you how to remove the down tree from your property. Stick around. So today we have to deal with this situation. So we were planning for a project, but it is not safe for us to work without taking care of this, right? So the project will be taking care of this.
I don't understand the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, we can still get to the workshop, as you can see. The door is open.
That's right. And you can see that big tree that is held by nothing right now.
That's the other half of this tree.
Yeah, and it is actually completely disconnected. So maybe a strong wind will bring it down. And it will make for a very interesting video if I was to be scratched by a tree. The thumbnail would be awesome, right? So today then, we're going to use our big guns and our little guns.
Big guns and the little gun.
Right.
We got a new little gun.
Yeah, we have not used this before, so it will be a first for us. Okay. And of course, we have used our cobalt before, and we're going to use it again. So the first thing is to reduce the mass, the volume of this tree, so it will be easier for us if we need to move it or do something with it. Right now it's quite heavy, right? So we're going to start by cutting the smaller branches off.
Okay.
All right.
How the little gun does.
We've never used it, so. This proved to be a very useful tool, and we're going to make an episode just reviewing it for you. We really love using it in this project. Actually, pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
I would consider that a rather large piece of.
Yeah, that's a 2.5-inch diameter, right?
And let's remove this just for ease. It doesn't really need to be removed. That is fun, actually. You might enjoy this.
We're making progress. We've got a little pile of the off cuttings here, and now we're back to the main part. Cutting off little pieces at a time, just again taking off some of the weight so that we can get to the larger piece. Pro tip, if you've not had to work with trees before,
Let me use the big one for this.
The bark over time can get pretty rough, so wear gloves if you have them.
Where is the saw?
It's over there on the thing. So it wouldn't get crushed by the tree.
Speaking of crush, do you want to show our collateral damage?
Our favorite cart got crushed with this little fall.
And also see how heavy a tree is, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it hit pretty hard.
See how it rotated? It just rotated.
So we made sure that we were on this side of the branch so that when this main trunk rotated a little bit, it didn't come toward us.
Okay.
So we've got another more substantial piece that's come off. We probably need to cut it a little bit more.
Nope. We will cut it more.
Yeah.
But
we need to cut this. Yeah. So our pile is increasing, as you can see, and the area in front of our shop is getting bigger. But now we're reaching the more, so we say, dangerous part of the operation.
Yeah, definitely.
I will probably want to brace the tree there with a 2x4 or something.
We're gonna try to take off this other little branch before we.
I mean, we can do, but I'm concerned about this because that will move. So I'm not sure. You see? I have to say, this thing is really good. Can you imagine trying to do that with pruning things?
Okay.
So now we're trying to figure out which way the tree might roll to do it in the safest way, right? It is free from the rest of the tree, but it is on the right side, right?
There is about where it's hitting the rest of the tree up there. If I can get a little closer. So the top of the tree is there, right above my finger. The tree is falling and hitting it right there. So it's kind of braced on the right-hand side of the tree, and we're thinking that if we cut it here in this elbow. It'll then, that piece will fall down and go to that side, and this piece will come down. So that is our plan, right?
And God help us. You are in my hit.
You're not going to hit me.
Okay.
There's no way. Watch where your blade is when you start it.
There's one. Did you catch that? Ha! No one died
And it fell the way I said it would fall.
because I braced it.
Okay, so now we've got the big branch down on the ground. We're going to clean it up by taking off the little bitty offshoots here before we cut it up into larger sections.
I'm going to say this isn't a branch. It's a trunk.
It's the tree trunk, yeah.
Broke itself off.
Broke itself off, nice.
So, Mrs. DIY, could that be used for pruning too or not?
It could be if you could reach what you needed to prune. This is a very short reach.
But it's similar in style to some of the long-handled trimmers that they have on the market.
And I like the little seating that has that makes it almost impossible to touch the top of the blade.
And it has, of course, the safety in that you have to push a button before you can push the button that engages the blade, right?
Yep.
About all I can reach.
All right, can we sew the front? So you can see this was not this was not a damaged tree, right? You see a lot of meat there. So you can see the power of the wind. I mean, this tree does not look damaged to me. I don't see voids.
No, it's just kind of ripped up. Sorry, I got it off camera there.
No, that's all right. All right, so the trick now will be to cut the rest of it. We can show our viewers.
Okay. So up there we're seeing where there might have been some damage or rot or something that's right below where the tree actually broke in the trunk there, and we'll get a better look at it when we bring it down, but we're just looking again to see why this tree did what it did.
You think more? I cannot see where I'm cutting.
I think a little bit more.
I think that's enough. What do you think?
Pretty good.
Can you go around and tell me?
Yeah.
I cannot see.
Bring it around.
I don't want you there though. I'm not gonna cut yet.
Got the wedge out. We're going to make the third cut.
Exactly where we wanted it, actually, right? Exactly where we wanted it. That was good.
Very substantial tree here. Here's that section that we were talking about having damage.
Bugs?
Bug activity, it looks like, or bird activity.
Yeah, there was some damage there. Yeah.
So that's probably what weakened it and why it broke the way it did.
Yep. So here we are. You can look at the carnets. We had a successful felling, right? And it, of course, when you look it on the ground, it always looks much bigger than you think it is, right? And I don't know if in the video, but you could feel the thud when it hit down. It was very
You could feel in here, it went boom.
right. It was a very. I hope in the video you guys can see it. So in several pieces now, and we have to make it even smaller pieces so we can get our
Move
yard
them.
back.
And we can move them because they are
Well,
quite
yeah.
heavy.
Well, there's no way. I don't think we can move either of those two. I don't
No,
know.
no.
All right, so we'll be right back. And now we'll start cutting the bigger pieces of the tree to smaller pieces to either use in projects or dispose
Thank
of.
you.
So this is a necessary but somewhat boring part of the job.
No, that tree.
Just that tree.
This is all one tree.
Because it is one tree, it was one tree and now it is down. Yes, sir. What can I do for you? We're processing. Look what they did to my cart.
I didn't do that.
Not you, but the tree.
Okay.
I wish I knew you were awake. Learning how to fold a tree is a very useful skill. We have to bend it back. It's bent.
Still works.
No, that wheel is
I'm moving.
okay.
You're seeing that I'm moving.
Yeah, but you see that wheel doesn't move, right?
So? Still works.
So we use the pry bar and 3 pieces of scrap lumber to give us some leverage so we can move. This is very heavy, right?
Very heavy.
So now we're going to start minimizing this log, making it smaller.
And so the reason why we put those under there is that we want to make a cut on the tree trunk here. We're going to try to preserve this length to do for a project.
And you do not want your blade touching the ground.
Right, so we had to raise it off the ground, and then we will continue to cut this other section into smaller pieces so they're more easily movable. Good.
Okay.
Nice and straight. Clean cut, and the chainsaw blade did not touch the ground.
Right. So that worked.
And the rest of this is what we're going to keep on working on. Are we going to move the supports, or what are we going to do?
Well, I can cut up to this point easily. It's not touching the ground, right?
But we're not cutting this yet.
Oh, we're not cutting this.
We're cutting this.
Okay. I don't know. What do you think? Should we move the support? Marco, what do you think? Ready? This is like.
We've moved the support down, and we'll just keep doing that as we get each section cut. We'll take the end one and move it to the next spot to keep raising this up off the ground. Now, there are better tools for doing this, right? But we're using what we have.
I don't know what better tool would be than a chainsaw to do this.
Well, there are other where I've seen people, they have more something that looks a little more like a sawhorse where you put a log into it and you just keep cutting the section that raises it up off the ground, but we don't have that. So again, we're just raising it enough.
We're not that high tech.
So we cut off another section of the tree, and the first section looked like it was pretty clear. Your foot's in the way, please. Thank you. Actually had really nice looking colored wood.
Something is moving in there.
Yeah, that's called bugs. Now this next section we did has critters living in there. So obviously the tree has been home for a while. And as you look over here.
And it will be more damage, clearly. I mean, that was not visible because that was 10 feet up there, actually more, right?
But you can see that they've been living there a while.
I mean, that was past the break, so that was very high. We could, even if it was, I mean, it has a little visible side here if you want to come around. That's where they've gone into the tree. But we couldn't have seen it.
No.
So let's go up and show that there is more work done. All right, so we're doing the same thing one more time, maybe two, to make this a manageable.
this is the remaining pile. Mrs. DIY is taking the little bitty saw and cutting it up. Doing a really great job, right?
Yep, it is.
Much faster than loppers, right?
Much faster than loppers.
And
the
you,
loppers need to be sharpened. I don't know about this, how you would sharpen this, but it's cutting pretty good.
you can sharpen it actually. You buy some, it is a round file,
Yeah, there's a specialized thing that you can use to sharpen.
but with it they send me an extra blade. So we actually have another blade already. Okay.
Okay, we're making progress on this section of the tree.
No, I cannot wait to see us falling the tree because I did. You guys saw it, but I didn't see it felling it. Right? I felt it, but I didn't see it.
You can probably cut the next section without us moving the support because there's still enough room there
Yeah.
underneath the log.
If you go here, you will be fine. Right here. Then you were there. I'll come in.
Again, you're starting to see the rotten part of the tree.
And when you do that, the shorter your stump gets, the more likely to roll. So have someone stabilizing, right? So the person that cuts doesn't have to worry about movement of the wood.
Right, they're only worried about the saw, which is what it should be.
Yep. I don't know if you saw it, but the log immediately wanted to move. I had to counteract it. Don't know if it was visible in the video.
Yeah, and you can see that the inside that's rotten here starts to
Yeah.
fly out a little bit too.
So initially, because that's so high up, we didn't realize that the tree was so ill,
Right.
as it is. But
But now we know.
all right, do you want one? So you can see a lot of damage that it was not visible to us, right?
Because it was so far up the tree.
And you see, it was going up. I mean, we're looking towards the top now, right? That's where it broke.
Mm-hmm.
You want to point?
Yeah, this is where it broke.
So we thought that there was not much damage, but really there was a lot of damage, right?
Bugs were liking this tree.
Yep. Which also made concern about other trees, to be honest now.
That didn't occur to you before?
No, I haven't seen that much damage in any of our trees. They have you?
Well, I haven't looked.
Okay, and on the other part, we're making a lot of logs now, but this we're going to cut in 3 equal pieces because Mrs. DIY has some plans for it. She has not shared the plans,
Right.
unless he shared them with you.
Nope, just 3 equal sections.
So we're going to use the same process. We're going to use scraps underneath. We're not going to necessarily record again, but we're going to record when we have the 3 pieces. And one of our better findings, look at the colors of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely amazing. I think it's going for your boob.
It's a little far away.
And yet, that's the direction. Look at it. It's like, oh shit, all this work for naught.
Very beautiful. I don't know what kind of caterpillar, what it turns into, but it's pretty beautiful. It's got like a.
It's butterflies,
It's
right?
got it could be a moth, it could be a butterfly.
It has an
It's
antenna.
got like an antenna on the front and the back. Do you see it?
Yeah. It's amazing how.
What nature does. And then I
This,
think these look like little like eggs or something on the back of it.
yeah, this little tree had so much life in it. One tree, right?
Mm-hmm. But I wonder if this is like the eggs are from a parasitic animal. You know how sometimes another
Yeah.
parasitic animal will lay eggs on something?
But this is almost in the 3rd stage. This is looking now for a place to make a cocoon, right?
Yeah.
So probably you don't want it on your glove.
No, I'm going to give him this tree over here.
It's like, yeehaw. That was a lot of transportation there in 1 second, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's God now.
Yeah, I am.
You're going to start praying in you, and come and move me another 10 feet in 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
In 5 milliseconds, actually, right?
These cuts were pretty straight. Look.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, but I mean, for a chainsaw, this is a pretty straight cut.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
So the tree used to be there, and now the tree is all over the yard. 2 things that are amazing. how much volume the tree had that you didn't realize, right?
Uh-huh.
And the other much, for me at least, how much wildlife was living on that tree,
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
and the amount of damage that we were unaware. I mean, look at this thing. So this tree was going to come down at one point or another, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Elpida, what are the things we learned? Keeping in mind this is one of the first times we did this. Tree has a lot of logs.
A lot of logs. Lots of logs.
What else we learned?
They're very loud. They're very heavy. Logs are much heavier than you probably think
Yeah,
they are.
absolutely. And really, the ground shook.
Mm-hmm.
And this was not that huge of a tree. Imagine if we were to take that tree down.
Now, this is like a, what, 10-inch diameter?
Yeah, I mean, imagine if we were to take that tree down.
Oh, that one? Yeah. That's all kind of special equipment to bring that one
I
down.
mean, I'm sure our neighbors heard it. It was very, very strong. And we have a lot of firewood. We have a lot of wood to do clean things.
Because we were so lacking in firewood before.
I know, right? Okay.
We have wood.
And we definitely put our cobalt to some good use.
Uh-huh.
Again, this is the thing that you
You
cannot.
should link the Cobalt
Right.
look video we did.
Yeah, and this is a thing you cannot do without the right tools.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we could have done it without the little saw, but the little saw took so much of our time away.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know.
Just made it so much faster, so much easier. I have done this type of cleanup with just loppers, and it'll just take your life out of you.
And both you and Mrs. DIY felt much more comfortable with it than you felt with a big chainsaw.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Mm-hmm. We've got, again, some piles here. This one still has to be broken down. Mrs. Wizard or Mrs. DIY has been breaking down all these and cutting the brush from the branches there. Two more pieces around. I think this one actually fell from a different tree.
Yeah.
That we should probably clean up as well. These are the damaged ones. These are the 3 sections that the missus asked for. We think we did a pretty decent job. This one's a little bit taller because, of course, that's the one that had the wedge cut out of it to bring down the whole tree.
And of course, the missus gave us orders and then she left, like the boss sees.
She had stuff to do.
Like the boss sees, I said.
Yeah, she had stuff to do. We're just here.
We don't have stuff to do.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and then remaining. Sorry if I'm giving you guys a little bit of whiplash here, but we still got to take this down more.
Down more.
Well, make it shorter.
I know.
A little haul. It's tall. And then bring this one, cut it up.
And I don't.
Cut up the last. This is the original. This is the original part that has broken off.
Part of it, not the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we shown that, but we use a pry bar. Again, this is not the right tool. There are specific tools that you can use to move a branch, but it is so heavy, and I don't think we recorded it because we needed all hands aboard, right?
Right.
All of us have to work to move it.
Right.
But using a large pry bar like this,
I can demonstrate it over here.
It worked very good.
Where did they go? Oh, so it was these.
Well, all we did is we used
That as a fulcrum to raise the branch up enough to be able to slide this board under there to give us the room underneath the branch to be able to cut it without fearing for the saw to go into the dirt.
And then again, you can improvise with some tool like this, right? This is not the right tool for what we did, but it did the job we needed to do.
It worked.
But you cannot do this without the chainsaw. Right. So the big part of the job is the little cleanup, right? Actually, falling the tree itself took us what, 5-10 minutes? I mean, including the cleaning the area and making it safe, and
Maybe a little longer.
but this is still going to take time.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of kindling and a lot of
Brush.
wood. What do you call it? Firewood.
Yeah. Some of it's dry and some of it's not.
And we're definitely impressed with the little, what is it called, fisaw? It's on the blade, I think.
Well, that says chainsaw.
Chainsaw. With a little chainsaw.
Yeah, I don't know what the brand is. We'll have to look at the box or whatever, but it's been doing a great job.
I mean, I've been impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect it to do as well, did you?
I wasn't really sure, but it's been good.
I mean, you know, when Mrs. DIY likes it, it's good, right?
Yeah.
Our dogs, we didn't have them out here today because it was kind of dangerous, right?
wouldn't want them underfoot while branches were falling. Trees were falling.
Right. I mean, and I don't know if you can hear them, but they're letting us know.
The hounds of the Baskerville.
They're letting us know their displeasure with our decision making.
No, something has them set off in there.
So this little, it's called Sissy, right?
The
Sissy.
case is spelled Seeesii. So, Cece.
And it is doing a very, very good job, right?
Yep.
I mean, for each size, I've been able to cut some really substantial thickness.
Yeah. We've done up 2.5, 3 inches on the diameter of the branch, and that's pretty decent for a little bitty saw like this.
Right. And I like the little protection on the top.
Yeah.
It moves as you cut, so you don't have to do anything to it, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's got the capacity for that size of a branch, but the fact that it has the power to cut through it and it doesn't bog down, that's what makes it nice. Right?
And it feels safe to you when you use it.
Yeah.
I think that's the important thing, right? Well, friends, and this is the remnants of our tree, right? And if you go there, there is the stamp, and we are trying to think of creative ideas, what we want to do with it, right? And we have some ideas, and we're going to explore one of them and show them to you. We have a couple of big pieces on the ground that we still need to process.
Dogs are inspecting.
The dogs don't know what to do themselves, especially when we had a lot of pieces on the ground, right? They didn't know what to do.
They're inspecting all of our work. They're like, this wasn't like this yesterday.
Right. Overall, however, we don't have much else to show you. This used to be a tree. It is not a tree anymore. That's pretty much it, right?
Yep. We're lumberjacks now.
We are lumberjacks. This is the first tree we fell in the property, and the first tree we fell ourselves, right?
Yep.
A lot of first in this video. So we're happy with the results. What do you guys think?
Definitely happy with the equipment we had.
Definitely.
And happy that there were A, no injuries, and B, no destruction to the property.
Well, there was an injury.
Well,
The favorite green part.
that happened before we got to it today.
Right.
So that wasn't us doing that.
But really, that was the only collateral damage we had out of the whole.
A little bitty piece on the deck.
Right, and a small piece on the corner of the deck. That was unavoidable.
Otherwise, it was really good.
The cobalt did admirably.
Mm-hmm.
The CC, is that what we call it?
Cece, yeah, Seeesii.
This, I think I didn't use it much. You guys used it more. So what do you thought of the little
The
one?
little mini.
It's a good for small needs.
I think it definitely made it much faster, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Overall, we're very happy. What lessons did we learn? Even when a tree looks healthy,
Heavy.
trees are heavy, and even if a tree looks healthy, that tree looked healthy. It can only come to our attention because it was leaning, right? Because it was turning towards the sun. But definitely, we did not think it was as damaged. I mean, look at this. That was high up. That was above the break point. So what do you think it was 20 feet?
Oh, at least. Yeah.
So we could not see that. And because there was a lot of green on the tree, like the top of the tree was very green, we had not really an idea that this was ill, that the tree was so much damaged, right?
Right.
Which explains now a little bit that the tree broke in half in a small storm because it had a lot of damage in it, right? So we learned a lot, and we hope you enjoyed a little day in our homestead when we don't do a project because something else take a priority, right? We really couldn't feel safe working on under the tree when it was not holding to anything, right? It was unsafe to be in the shop, and we had to move that in order to do more projects for you in the future. Overall, we are all very happy. Anything else we learned? Elpida, Mrs. DIY?
I mean, I think we took the proper precautions, and we calculated and made sure that we were all on the same page before we took any action, and it was a good day.
And we put the dogs away because there was a lot of things happening around. We didn't want the animals to get damaged, right?
Well, we didn't want them to get damaged, or hurt, or
Right. Well, this is our episode for today. We still have a lot of cleaning to do around, but the major part of the job is done, right?
Definitely. a lot easier when it's on the ground than when it's all above you.
And of course, we're using our incinerator barrel right there to make sure that everything is disposed of and safely put away, right?
Fire can.
And we are
The
under
fire pit.
no burn warnings
Right.
here in our community today.
We don't have a red flag. Always pay attention to those things, right? Don't burn when you're under a red flag. In other words, this is the end of our video. Thank you for watching. We hope you appreciated this a little strange video for us, right? We don't hold trees usually. From Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY, and Elpida. Stay safe, friends.